So today I have the pleasure of sitting with Cookie, the owner, CEO of EMAC Inc. Studios. And I'm going to let her just rap about herself right now because she's done some amazing things in the community. At one point, she had a magazine, which actually sparked the interest of the DMV Illest magazine. So she is a spearheader in the industry, in the field. Cookie, how are you doing today?
Hi guys, it's me Cookie here. I am the owner, creator, and CEO of Immaculate Inc., which Immac Inc. stems from that. I am a hairstylist. I've been in the beauty field for a little over, I calculated the other week, maybe a couple of weeks ago, a little over 26 years. I actually started when I was at the young age, I was in my teens. I always was fascinating. And so it stemmed from there. And from there on, once I completed high school, I went on and attended, hair school, which I attended BCI, which is Bennett Career Institute. Um, and then I just took off from there.
I love it. And you and I actually knew each other prior to us joining together, even on this platform. We went to school together and we used to model together. And I
Yeah.
was just telling someone when the magazine was coming out that you were always the one that was making sure that everybody was on point. You were helping. So once you got yourself ready, you were able to do hair. And I remember you used to have sleepovers actually at your house where you would do
Yeah.
hair. So it has been in you.
Yeah, it's been in me. I just love the whole deal of transformation. Like your client walks in looking one way, she leaves out looking another. Just boosting the self-esteem of people. We go through so much in everyday life. You never know what somebody's going through. Just the whole thing, just the glitz, the glamour. Um, the beauty field is so broad that pretty much hair was my avenue. And then when I got into my career, I actually noticed that I liked the photography part, not more so of being a photographer, but being on a set with other individuals to make a collab, to make a vision come through. So that's pretty much how the magazine came about. We weren't doing magazines a lot. I love shooting. I love seeing my work behind the camera. I love the high energy of being on set. And I was like, hey, guess what? I'm about to do my own magazine. The DMV never had a magazine, so we had one. I believe I was the first and only DMV hair magazine that came out. And we ran from a span of 2017 and we ended it right before COVID. Which it worked out. I wanted it to be safe for everyone because we didn't know what we was coming up against.
Absolutely. And so the magazine had did its run. Are you in the process of creating something new, or are you kind of like, let somebody else take that? Where are you at with that?
Well, I have inspired, I've been told
Yes.
several
Yeah. Yeah.
people to go ahead and launch magazines. DMV Ilias supporting them, like it's been a great journey. They're trying to pull me back.
Yes.
But as things work right now, family is priority. So that's kind of why I kind of took a back seat. I've been a hustler since I can remember. And now that I look back at it, I feel like my hustling has to take the landslide a little bit because family, I missed a lot of functions, just grinding, grinding, grinding. The money's coming, you busy, you booked and stuff like that. So now that I look at it, looking back, I've missed a lot of valuable time with like family and friends and events that I can't get back. So right now I had to go back to being a stylist because when I was doing the magazine, people didn't think I did hair. No, I was doing both. I was doing hair, I was being a family person, and I was running a magazine. So it was very, very hectic.
Absolutely. And and that's very important that you touched on the hustle came at a price where, some things where it came with relationships to family or friends or whomever, that it kind of took a back burner. I
Yeah.
think that a lot of people are trying to find that balance, and so yeah, I definitely understand your position at this point when it comes to that. Tell people where they can find you really quick. Where's your studio and where can people find you online and get in contact?
So you can find me online. I'm on Instagram. My handle is Immacinhair. On Facebook is Immacinhair by Cookie. Booking information. I'm on the booking link of Vagaro. So it's www.vagaro.com/Immac And right now my studio is located in Upper Marlboro. Um, I just,
It looks
it's
pretty.
fun. Thank you. Well, I'm actually here with clothes today. Um, I couldn't even cut my schedule. Like, I really wasn't having no time for myself. So my appointments are first come, first serve. And I wasn't going to do the studio thing, but I actually just launched my grand opening for my studio last September. If
Congratulations.
anybody know, I think my favorite number is 30.
Mm-hmm.
Because B, you did work with me on the magazine. She was one of my writers. And everything I launched, if you noticed, or my shoots were always on the 30th. So I just launched, and I just thought about it. I just launched my grand opening for my studio on September 30th. Emac Ink Day is December 30th. Like
Oh,
everything is just 30. So I'm
wow.
just thinking that 30 is my favorite number, maybe.
That's good. That's good. Lucky 30. Now you mentioned that you've been in the industry for 26 years, and not only did it let me know now that I've said that we grew up together how old we are.
Time is passing. But as long as you don't look it, that's the key
And yeah,
point.
as long as you don't look it or feel it, I think we're good. But what have you seen change in the industry during that time?
In the industry, what I've seen in my tour of it, a lot of things. I've seen hairstyles come and go. At
Mhm.
one point, when we were younger, we were wearing finger waves and stuff. That stuff is back. Pin curls is back. It phased out and it came back, came back. Wigs and extensions are big now. They've always, let me say, been a big thing, but not to the African American culture.
Okay.
Like I'm gonna say certain extension techniques.
Mhm.
Because the Caucasians, they always wore tape-ins, they always wore eye tips, and they always, believe it or not, wore lace fronts and things like that. That was a Hollywood thing, actually, for set. But now it's becoming an everyday thing. Um, I've seen where classes for our industry have came and gone. Like we used to travel. Well, they still have the Warner Brothers show, and they still have the. I'm trying to think about it. It's normally in June. I haven't been in so long, but the hair shows. Like I just feel like in the beauty community, it was more of a community. It was like a sacred thing. Now we have YouTube. We have stylists selling our secrets for free. I mean, don't get me wrong, I educate my clients to the fullest.
Yes.
But when your clients can trust you because they know what you're doing and you have that gem, they're gonna always come to you. You don't have to leak everything. The doctor does not tell you everything that they're not saying doing, they're going to tell you their diagnosis, but they're not going to give you, okay, you take this needle home and you do this, this, and that. Like they're not going to do that. So, I've seen things phase in and phase out, come and go, in the industry, which can be a good or bad thing.
Yeah, and I
It's just a revolving, it's just a revolving thing, just a different way of doing things. Let's say that.
right, right. And I'm glad that you touched on, it was more of a community in talking to on the barber side of the house. Um they feel the same sentiments where it was more of a community back then, and now it's more of a solo journey. A lot of people try to make it a solo journey where they look on YouTube or they immediately get their own suite instead of working at a shop and connecting with others and networking. And they just prefer that solo uh, style, you know. And so, what is your take on that for someone who's coming into the industry, though?
So I came in the game with the old school stylist.
Mhm.
I'm still old school. You're not coming to me with your hair already shampooed and all that good stuff because it's a sanitation thing. And I get what the barbers were saying because when I hipped the barbers to Immaculate magazine, they were so excited because for so long, barbers were not getting that light. They weren't. It was just, your everyday barbers. But then when we went around, we was like, yeah, we want you to shoot your work too, because now guess what? They're doing designs, they're doing different effects and color and things like that. Like we want to see you too, because one thing about I'm gonna say the hair industry, whether it's on the hairstylist side or the barber side, it's a form of art.
Yes.
You're just using a person as your canvas to bring out your vision. Um, I do feel like now it's not more of a community because, like I said, I grew up with the old school stylist where you went in a salon, right? And it was how many ever salon stylists in the salon. But one thing about it was while you were in that salon, y'all learned from each other. What Cookie learned and knew, I shared it with B. What B learned, she shared it with me, and so on and so forth. We learned from each other, and that's the missing piece because when you're in your suite and you're by yourself, and I find it like that because it was hard for me to do the suite thing too. Like you're only in there, you're with your client. When you're in a bigger establishment with multiple people, you learn from their clients. Hey, I need a carpenter. It might be somebody else's client that's a carpenter. And it was just a whole thing. But now everybody's on this CEO boss thing. When you was a booth runner in a salon with several stylists, you was a CEO because your booth was your business. But now you just got four walls to block you. So I agree with the barbers. It's not really like a community anymore. It's more of a self thing. And we just got to get out of that ego thing. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like once we get out of that, I think our industry could go way more further. Because, like I said, it's gone further, but then technology and things change.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm just thinking, like, from a client standpoint, obviously now today, I think I've expressed I really, don't go to anyone for my hair because it's short. I could do it really quickly. But I remember being younger and my mom would take us to Forestville Mall at whatever that salon was there.
Hmm.
And, you have the camaraderie, you see it, but I'm sure in terms of clients, because a lot of people in your industry are saying that their clients come to them and they can talk about anything. And so, have you seen a change in the conversation from moving from a shop to a suite? Because I might be more inclined to share with you a little bit more because I speak loud anyway. A little bit
Okay.
more raw in your own studio versus if we're in a shop and I feel like I need to tone it down.
Well, I say this.
Mhm.
One thing about it, the service provider controls
Mhm.
the atmosphere. I have clients that I have a client, her name Renee. We call her Ghetto Renee. She's not ghetto, she's just loud. Everybody knows when Renee's coming. So once you're talking something sacred, they're going to calm down. I mean, it's just that you get a little bit of privacy, but it depends on how you bring your suite. Because if you are a stylist or a barber that's booking every 15 to 30 minutes, by the time you shampoo your client, the next client coming in. So how much privacy really can you have? I mean, it's not that much privacy that you can have. It's just that you're in your own little space. Like, you're in your own little space away from other service providers, let's say that. Because in my suite, just looking around, I could house two, I'm gonna say seven sitting and then one in a chair. So that's eight, and with me includes nine. So
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? If I have a full day and everybody's in here, how much private it is because you see these other people in here.
absolutely. Absolutely. And
So it
then
just depends.
when you were working in the shop, were the conversations a little different then? Because now you have your own. So, but when you were in the shop with other stylists and it was open floor, were the conversations a little different?
The conversation, I would say yeah and no.
Okay.
Um, but it was more of a big conversation because depending on how loud the person talked, they might have been seeking feedback from other people. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So it just depends on the type of conversation. Because of course, if you were in my chair and you was talking to me about something personal, of course it's not going to be a broadcast moment.
Right.
But if it's something like, oh, hey, did y'all see the last episode of BMF?
Right.
That's a whole open conversation. Like the
Yeah.
whole salon is going to
And
interact.
that brings you right back to the community aspect. So I
Yeah.
like that. I like that. I'm gonna pivot for a second because
Okay.
you're a big stickler on professionalism
Yes, ma'am.
and working with you, well, knowing you and then working with you. I know you do things with a certain amount of class and expectation. And so
Uh-huh.
you could just touch on some of the things that can help others, up their professional game or up their services. That would be great. Like for instance, I'm gonna just give you an example. I remember when you were working on the magazine,
Mm-hmm.
not only did professional photo shoots for people, but you were saying you had the snacks, and you provide just the extra touches that you naturally do that you see lacks in other things. So can you just talk to those about how they can really just kind of up their professional services game?
Well, my motto has always been, since I was little, go big or go home. You treat people how you want to be treated. Um, so what I mean by that is go big or go home. You give your all. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's going to grasp what you're doing. Um, when we did the magazine, we were there all day, right? And I know me, I'm a foodie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a Bino. Every restaurant like it.
Yeah.
I just like the ambiance, the feel, just the
Yeah.
newness. So if we're working all day, and we used to start our shoots at like 7:30. Well, call time used to be at 7 o'clock. Our first clients used to walk through the door no later than 8 for the first, and we're getting them started, and then we're not finishing till between 4 something. Well, no, our latest shoot one day was 8 p.m.
Okay.
That's a whole day that you obligated your time to work with me. You're away from your family. I could at least feed you. And my staff didn't get no cheap meals. Like I fed them what I would like, or I would take a poll, hey, what y'all want to eat for this shoot? It was that. But then I remember being a stylist on a shoot when shoots were all day. And now the model's hungry and you're hungry and irritated. And you can't function at your best. So that's how I did that with the magazine. Professionalism, I'm real big on that. I'm a stickler on time. I mean, don't get me wrong, we all run late. Things happen. Like things happen. But you want to try to be as professional as possible. I have a free fall thing with my clients. Like they may curse, they may, whatever, but it's all tactful. Like if an older client is here, they're not going to do that. When we're by ourselves, okay, that's fine. Even with my booking, I book off of Vagaro, so you have to make your appointments through Vagaro. I'm very detailed. So when you're detailed, there's no room for error. The client knows what to expect. If you go on my booking site, it's very detailed. It's nothing that's going to be undercut. I've had clients that came in that said, it says this, but you get there and it's this, or I don't get the address to the day of the appointment, things like that. We live in an era now, people, their lives are just as busy as ours. They don't want to be in the salon all day long. They want to get in and they want to get out. So, just being professional, making sure your area is clean. Um, Things happen, like I said, you want to be there before your client. Be ready. When they walk through, come on, let's go to the shampoo bowl, or come on, let's cut you down right quick. You want them to be like, oh, okay. Like Now I'm coming in, and don't get me wrong, once you're into your day, yeah, you're gonna have people that come in, they gotta sit a little while. Or just be courteous. Hey, guess what, B? I'm running a little bit behind today. So if you want to go grab you something to eat right quick, or if you have something in range that you want to do right quick, go ahead. Call me, or I could call you when I'm almost ready. Because sometimes as hair professionals, we do run behind. But even down to the barbers, I know it's a transformation for them too, because the guys don't want to be in the barber shop all day either. And the barber shop was the man cave. Your boyfriend, brother, or somebody, they went to the barber shop at 9. They might not come home until like 3, 4 o'clock. And you like, what y'all doing? He just cut your hair, But nowadays, people don't want it. Don't want to sit. Everything is instant. They want instant.
Correct. What is a pet peeve? Maybe a couple of pet peeves that you have that clients tend to do, but it's a pet peeve of yours and your colleagues within the industry.
Because all my time is accounted for, I would just say not communicating.
Yeah.
Not communicating. It plays a big role, especially with my business. And like I said, I'm big on family now. Like my parents are getting older, so I'm helping them, different little things like that. So it's like not communicating. Like if at your appointment is at 6 p.m. and now here it is at 5:45, and it's no way you're going to be there at 6. Give a phone call. Let me decide if I still want to take you. But again, being descriptive, if you look, I have a late fee.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? And then you're even subject to saying I have to reschedule you. Right. Because if I had somebody after you, now you're going into their time. So that's one pet peeve. Really not having an idea when you come through just give me a little bit. Like give me a little smidget. I could go off of that.
Right.
And trying to be the stylist.
Yeah.
Or the barber.
Yeah.
Or the nail tech.
Yeah.
Like you come to me for this service because evidently you've seen something I like.
Right.
Somebody gave you good reviews about me.
Right.
Or you've been here, but you want to dictate. That's back again. You don't go nowhere else and tell them how to do their job.
Right.
Like that's another pet peeve, because one thing about it, once you let me know what you want, I'm already plotting my plan to execute what you want in my head.
Right.
So everybody does things different. Your last stylist, she might have curled the front and then did the back. My thing might be, I might curl the back and then the front. Your thing might be you curl this side, then you go to the top to the front. Like, you have to actually let a person do their thing, because sometimes when you get them off track, it's like, I'm the curl this way, and then this one that way, and I'm like, okay, but she said she wanted this, but your vision of how to complete it may not be my vision of how to complete it.
Absolutely.
So
I
don't have a lot of my clients. They've been with me for a long time, so they kind of know how I operate, and it's kind of like a cut and dry thing.
I like that. So you guys know, I had that happen to me one time. When I went in for a cut, I'm used to them cutting my hair dry. And this one lady, when she cut it wet, in my mind, I'm thinking, what is she doing? But I'm one of those where it's going to look how it's going to look till it grow back. But it came out good. So I said, oh, okay, I learned
the thing about it is everybody have their way of doing things. Like to me, I might be comfortable cutting your hair dry opposed to being wet, because then when it's wet, guess what? It's curly, or it's wavy. You might not get the even tension that you want. That might kind of offset things. So everybody have their different, ways of doing things.
Yep. Have you ever had to fire a client?
Yeah. It's not bad. I just feel like
what can get a client fired from you? Like what can make you fire a client?
Getting too comfortable.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's powerful. Yeah.
Getting too comfortable. Because like you said, we do talk.
Yeah.
That's what you do in the salons and barbershops.
Yeah.
So then you create a bond. Some bonds go from clients to like family or clients to like friends. I mean, it's been several clients. We finished early or whatever. Hey, Cookie, come on, let's go grab us something to eat, or let's go get a couple of cocktails, things like that. But they forget when you're in here, it's my business. And we're
Right.
going to conduct it as business.
Wow.
So I think the comfortability comes where they lose their position of knowing that they're a client. So, I had fired not many,
Yeah.
but sometimes I feel like just like in relationships, that time has expired, you know, um, and sometimes it is time for a new stylist for you or a new barber for you or whatever you may have because your time with that person may have expired. But other than that, I may not really fire them or just suggest that they might need to find somewhere else because
Right.
I might not be the stylist for you.
Understood. Understood.
And it
Um,
happens, like it
it
happens.
happens. It absolutely happens. And clients fire stylists secretly on the low all the time. They don't, there's no loyalty there. You and I were discussing.
The thing about it is they just don't come back. That's their way of firing. They
That's
don't
it.
come back until
Uh-huh.
it's an issue.
Yeah.
And now they want you to fix.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But
Well,
I'm a believer of everybody has their expertise. So I don't take it no type of way because I'm not a braider. So
right.
don't come to me expecting me to braid. So you can fire me all day long and find
Right.
you a braider or I can refer you a couple.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. No, absolutely. And that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. So, we're running low on time and
Okay.
I absolutely love this, but I want to give you the floor. Is there any advice that you want to give? Is there any parting words that you want to say, before we close out this particular session right here?
First of all, I want to thank you for doing this interview with me. I have been missing the magazine a little bit, but life has its times. I want to thank DMV Ilias hairstylists and barbers for putting this together. And to my beauty professionals, let's stay professional.
Mhm.
Stick in there. Let's set the standard
Mhm.
because in our industry, we are totally getting disrespected. Okay. And we want to gain our respect back. Like even in the salon and our field as a whole, we want to gain our respect back. And just shoot for the stars. If this is your industry, shoot for the stars. Don't give up. Give it your all. Even on the bad weeks or the high weeks, you just keep on pushing.
Absolutely. I like that. And if you can elaborate a little bit, there may be someone watching this like trying to get in the industry. She said disrespected. What does she mean? Beatrice asked that question. So if you could,
So I'm just saying that being disrespected because of the lack of professionalism. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yes.
You run your business.
Hmm.
You run your business, you set the tone, and as well as gain our respect back as professionals,
Love that.
as a whole.
Hmm.
We want the clients to come to us.
Hmm.
The people like B, we want you to come in. You don't got too much time. Okay, you come in, you get this done.
Yeah.
Like give me a realistic time. Let's make it happen. That's what I mean by being
Yeah.
respectful.
So yeah. That makes a lot of sense. And even I guess it can extend to the respect where you guys are um not being respected if you need to reschedule because you're sick or you're dealing with family issues and someone is still expecting you to perform at your highest and best, and so
Yeah.
and so the respect, like you said, goes well, it
And
goes both.
remember, you're professional, your service providers are human too. Like
Correct.
I said, we have families, we get sick, our cars break down, like different little things like that. So to the consumers, you gotta understand that we're just as human as you guys, and life happens for us, as they say, life be life for us too. But just be cordial. Communication is a big thing.
That's what you looked at. You just made it full circle. That's what you
Communication.
started with. That's what you're ending with. I love that. Thank you so much for spending time with me
Thank
to
you so
discuss
much.
this. And you guys, please comment. Cookie dropped a lot of gems in this session. She dished out her information. Make sure that you like, comment, and share. Go to her profile. Look at her. Like, contact her. She's absolutely amazing. And so I just really appreciate her. And also, if you liked this particular talk, please make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to this YouTube channel for more talks just like this. Thank you so much, and we will definitely talk soon. Hold on
Thanks.
1 second, Coop.